Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring you to the NFC North review/preview podcast, brought to you by the Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen, the F to the L, double OG, the Flu.
Yeah, dude.
What
Holy
is
shit!
up?
Thank you for bringing us along on a journey.
What is up, my babes in Toyland?
Ooh,
How are we?
Living the dream.
very excited for this episode.
I mean, yeah. So we have NFC North. We have a Lions fan in the house, Shane. If you don't know that by now, then I don't know what you're missing out.
Yeah, fuck you.
I mean, there's certain things you should know, like your social security number, maybe like your anniversary date, and then Shane is a Lions fan.
Your passport.
Thank you. In that order.
Yes.
Yeah.
So besides that, but here we are. Let's go around the room real quick. Hanging out with me again.
Yeah.
My man, the Morgue Mart.
Technologically uninclined, and that's why I'm here.
I mean,
Dude, there's some fantasy powerhouses in that Zoom window right there.
the Tower.
That is very kind of you.
Power.
Sir. That is very kind of you. Below me on the screen,
and in life,
and maybe in life, I don't know. I mean, no, I love him to death, though. Well, now I'm looking sideways at something. He's making me. I'm about to have a seizure. Shane Gardner, folks.
Hey,
he will
let's go.
disorient you like nobody else, but damn it, he's a fun guy.
Oh, come on. Not the mushroom, but the for real. Like an enjoyable fella.
Somebody say mushrooms?
There you go. Dude, speaking of which, we have a green mushroom growing in our garden right now. Like bright, like chartreuse.
Speaking of which,
go on.
When I moved, I might have put my mushrooms somewhere and forgot where I put them.
Oh, no.
So it's a little scavenger hunt going on.
It's a moving surprise.
I hope they don't get to the cat.
Oh, God. She will flip out.
It's literally.
Yeah. And she likes to eat mushrooms, too.
Oh.
Maybe not this kind, but like, shiitake and whatnot.
What she takes.
Gars.
What's up?
Gars _Poetica.
Mm-hmm.
Shane, you're not going to introduce him?
No? My bad.
Okay.
Oh, man. Yeah, I need
Let me introduce him. This is my bad. Okay.
It is your bad.
No,
we talked about the fantasy powerhouse in that window. Now let's transition to Morgan's nemesis.
That's right.
We learned this last week. And, we got on here before the podcast started, we were talking, and Gary's, I think the exact quote was, "Man, I was wasted by the end of last week's." And we just said, Gary, we're just not going to be able to drink like we used to. And Gary's flight, what has it turned into this week, Gary? What you sipping on down there?
It's a little different. It's a Voodoo Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Keeping it light. That's like that's like for you drinking like a Bud Light.
Basically.
Just a little,
Well, dude, to be honest, dude, I was at Target. It was like my last stop for work. And I was like, all right, what do they have? And, dude, it's like a 20-foot wall for beer and alcohol. Half of that was all seltzers. So 10 feet of seltzers. It's like you can't find anything there, dude.
Everybody's in the seltzer game now.
I dug into the Voodoo Ranger, man. Those millennials and them seltzers, man. I'm going to tell you.
Dude, I think that could be the name of a book about you, Gary. Your biography, 10 Foot of Seltzers.
That would be a good band name too, or
it would.
Like Millennial Seltzer would be a great name.
That's
Seltzers and salads.
Seltzers and salads, dude. Let's go.
Shane, what are you drinking?
I'm sipping on where to go. I'm sipping on a Cabernet, boys. Keeping it classy. Come on now.
The
Carnivore. I gotta show up. Yeah, man. Sipping on that Carnivore Cabernet. Supplied by the world's finest.
Well, Morgan and I have
thank you.
Have some Moscow Mules. Cheers.
Oh,
let's go, boy.
I think mine's way spicier than his.
It is.
It's almost like I'm eating hot peppers right now.
Ooh, that sounds great.
This ginger beer has got some bite, folks.
We got it when we were on vacation, and like I couldn't drink it. And I was like, Morg, I know you like spice.
I do. And it's like drinking a Bloody Mary. It's so spicy. It's kind of good,
but it's not Sunday morning.
It is not Sunday morning, and I'm
not
judging. And I'm not trying to fix the drunk from the night before
by getting a little drunk the next morning.
It works. It works.
It
Some people call it a problem. I call it a solution.
I think I appreciate that.
Well, all right, yeah. So here we are again. You guys can find us iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean, Twitter and Instagram at @theflug_ff, and then again, just search the Flug on all those media outlets, and there we are.
There we have it.
There we are. So we are what? Are we 2 weeks out now? We're 3 weeks out until opening night.
Yep.
Chiefs.
Oh, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, man.
Days keep counting down.
Something I didn't look at it. I think they just came out before the pod started, but I think DraftKings dropped their week 1 prices, so definitely something we should look into for next week's pod. But
that's a great idea.
They're gonna welcome me back. I've been off this entire thing. I stopped gambling and through this whole process.
Yeah.
Of not having sports to gamble on and stuff like that, and I really was diligent in my spare time and stopped gambling so much. I've been able to save a ton of money. I mean, the side effects are amazing.
Well, let's just imagine
having me back. So,
well, think about if you rolled all that money that you saved and get a couple wins. I mean, you could easily triple or quadruple that. You know?
Yeah, and really, I think for me,
I'm just kidding. I'm just
well,
kidding.
no. But hear me out. I think your best window with DraftKings, if you're just like your best windows, if you're kind of getting into daily draft, is at the beginning because the pricing is more negotiable.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So your best window to get your wins in for the noobs is definitely at the beginning.
Shit, I might have to take a splash.
Yeah, because like the further you go along, the more on point their pricing gets, and it gets harder and harder for a roster construct.
So speaking of like hoarding money and everything, with everybody being like quarantined or whatever, my dad, he counted his change.
Oh,
he had $800 in quarters.
Nice.
What?
Oh,
Nice.
There's your coin shortage, America. The old people are hoarding this shit.
Dude, my dad's bathroom has stacks of quarters in it. Just stacks of change. It's wild. I'm like, why don't you do something with that? And he's like, well, you never know when you might need change. I'm like, you don't need all that change. What are you doing? Nickel, quarter, dime night?
Yeah, there's
Dude. I had a ton of change. A ton. And I exchanged it, and I think it was $140, and it was a fucking lot. So $800 worth of quarters only? Boo, boy.
Did you have one of those big water jugs of it?
I had a Oh, go on.
He's like 1,500 total.
That's wild.
Jesus.
That's crazy. I didn't have a full Diamond Springs. I had a full, that Martinelli's apple juice, the big ones?
Yeah.
That's the best apple juice by far, by the way. Number 2 is not even close. It's like Christian McCaffrey. Number 2 is a far ways behind. Which, by the way, who's the number 1 if you got the first overall pick this year?
Well, ask Gary because he's about to have it.
Oh, boy. It's because he sucked.
Basically, I mean.
He doesn't disagree with that. I mean, we were talking about that earlier. He was taking his lumps about that team. So
yeah, it was a bad draft that I saw, but I'm gonna go CMC. You might as well. I don't think he's gonna produce like he did last year, but I mean, it can be damn near close. So
okay, I think it's pretty close.
If he can end up like a top 5 running back, I'll be all right with that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, so
I think it's gonna be. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're good. I'm sorry, I cut you off. So we're not talking NFC South tonight, but no, it's all good. I mean, but we're gonna go to the North for the North,
yes,
if you will, for Shane. I don't know. Let's start with the team that I found the less. I mean, I tried to find a lot to talk about, but I couldn't.
They're the least attractive option to talk about.
Yeah, and this is the Bears. So as far as ads go, in the second round of the draft, they took tight end Cole Kmet.
Yep. Should we say they brought in Nick Foles, which is probably gonna be pretty big? My bad.
Foles.
You were gonna get to that.
Yeah, and then they got in the 5th round, they took wide receiver Darnell Mooney out of Tulane. They got Foles, and then they got Jimmy Graham. As far as losses goes, I put Trey Burton. I don't know if you want to call that a loss, but it is what it is on paper.
Yeah, he's gone from the roster.
Yeah.
Well, Shane and I were talking about this earlier, and it's kind of interesting in the fact of that this is a bounce back candidate team in some ways. Not everybody, perhaps. Like Allen Robinson was a top 12 wide receiver last year, correct? So
if not, he was very close. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he's obviously probably the bright spot there, because then you have to think about who behind him is producing. And it's not, while I want Anthony Miller to produce, he hasn't done it yet. And they've got like 17 tight ends on the roster right now, I think.
Yeah.
They've got a lot. But then you get
I think you hit the under on that one, Mark.
Yeah, and then you get to the exactly. I was trying to be modest. Then you get to their running backs, and man, it's a major question mark. But obviously David Montgomery is going to get your between the 20s carries or your goal line carries, I guess. But there's so many ways that you could get creative with Tariq Cohen, and I think that was part of the frustration with him last year. The year before, he was a top 25 running back.
He was top 10.
Was he top 10
in PPR?
In PPR, and
yeah, he was incredible.
And so he had a dip last year, and maybe part of that was because they were just awful last year. And some of it was play calling and some of it was offensive line. But this is a team that should have an opportunity to at least expand upon the numbers from last year. So there's upside with the team. And the only thing I like about the Bears is that you can draft these guys for better value picks. You don't have to waste a pick on most of these guys early on and have it be a question mark, because I don't think anybody's dying to draft David Montgomery in the 3rd or 4th round.
But the other thing,
that early,
yeah, the other thing is Trubisky just sucked, and now he's got competition.
Yep.
So you could argue that
Foles is competition from a guy who was already in Nagy's system.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And the quarterback's coach, I can't remember his name right now, has worked with Foles before. Mm-hmm. So I see it as an upgrade, whether Trubisky wins the job just with some competition or if Foles takes the job from him. Right. You gotta think that's going to be an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
I really think I still think Foles could be the starter. I'm just gonna put that out there. And I really think from there it's almost like a chart almost of what you think what's gonna go where. I mean, Foles won a Super Bowl, guys. I mean, they didn't trade him. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of money tied to him.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think you wouldn't do this for him to, just ride the pine. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, man. I think.
Well, maybe there's fear that Mitch Trubisky doesn't turn the corner. Maybe he doesn't rebound.
Yeah, dude.
And in that case, you do have to set yourself up for what's to come. If you get into a situation where you're having a season as bad as last year. I mean, a lot of the awfulness that they were last year was Mitchell Trubisky.
Yes. 100%.
Just not hitting his reads, not really getting to his progressions, not making good throws, not making good decisions. Maybe some of that's because you're under duress, but you're in the NFL, and as an NFL caliber quarterback, you have to be able to make those.
And I just wondered what happened with Tariq Cohen. I mean, he didn't have an injury that you would think hurt his explosiveness. Just what happened? His usage went way down last year. It just feels like they were really putting a lot on David Montgomery, and they really haven't brought in much to compete with him. They've got, I think their backup to Montgomery's Ryan Nall, who's been there. There's not a lot behind Montgomery. It's just, I think that Tariq Cohen could have a huge bounce back season. I don't know how much I'd buy the entire offense progressing, but Tariq Cohen is absolutely a guy I would target in fantasy leagues for a late pick. I would love to pick him up in half or full point PPR.
I know a guy who's a Bears fan, and
oh yeah, you do.
And the majority of his displeasure comes towards Matt Nagy. He thinks a lot of it had to do with getting really vanilla last year and becoming predictable.
I mean, it's not a bad call. I think.
I mean, look at this. Look at his. So he had his most targets ever so far last year in 2019.
Correct.
But then look at his average, 5.8, and then
the year before he averaged 10 yards, over 10 yards a play.
Yeah, that's insane.
So you're talking about a 5-yard loss on each of those plays.
Yeah, he wasn't schemed too well, and you can see too, he lost 35 carries compared to the year before. So that. And I mean, look at his yardage. It's it's cut in half from 2018 when it comes to rushing the ball.
He disappeared. Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy, to see somebody go top 10 in PPR to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to find, when I think of Tariq Cohen, I kind of think of Darren Sproles. because they're similar size-wise, except for
Sure.
Sproles, I think, was a little bit stockier. And I mean, as much as I love Tariq Cohen, you know this because he's on one of my teams in the leagues we're in. He said that he wore down from being overused in actual running situations. That
he's trying, yeah.
It actually wore his body down, and he wasn't recovering like he wanted to.
He did say on the off. I'm sorry, more like he was working on his body on the off season too.
Right. Now, if he switches to a plant-based diet, I'm out. No way.
Because when Demaryius Thomas fell off.
That's
Arian Foster. Yeah.
There's truth to it, gentlemen.
So I think we kind of touched on like targets with like I said, so Coleman got 104 targets. I mean we have Allen Robinson. We already talked about Allen Robinson. 154 targets last year, guys. I mean, that's freaking up there.
That's way up.
Yeah, that's way high.
Anthony Miller entering his third season.
Damn, he had 85 targets.
Yeah, 85 targets.
It didn't feel like it at all.
No, absolutely not.
And so Taylor Gabriel's gone, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty
sure. So that opens 48 targets right there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, so Trey Burton was only 24, whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like logic would say that Allen would take a little step back. I mean, I still feel like he's going to flirt with 130, 120, 130 easy. Anthony Miller, I think he should be able to break the 100 threshold.
I would say that Robinson would probably dial back to, like you said, 130 would be probably the high side of things, just because in most years that's really where you're going to average. But I can totally see his touchdown staying sound at like 7.
Yeah.
Maybe not too many beyond that, but that's like a very safe place to put him. I can see that being sustaining. He got almost 1,200 yards. He got 1,150. And to think that he got 154 targets and he still didn't make 100 catches is actually kind of
it's
telling.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, in this offense that we're saying is so like blah.
Yeah.
For him to put up numbers like that, I think is like, I mean, that's wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Cole Kmet, the rookie tight end.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people thought he was going to be the best tight end in this draft. So that might be something to look at.
Yep.
Especially
because they really didn't have much out of their tight ends last year.
Yeah, even with all the bodies there. Yeah, they didn't get much. That Trey Burton deal was awful.
And Adam Shaheen's gone now. He's in Miami. Yeah. Not that he didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Trey Burton's gone. They cut Shane's boy Barnburner.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, it's Jimmy G and it's Kmet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the guys.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this is very uninspiring, but
it is. Let's move past them.
But there are still fantasy assets to be had there. You just have to not – you have to be patient on them and not overdraft any of them.
Is anybody taking Allen Robinson in the second round of a 12-team redraft?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. I would probably think of a bunch of people I'd rather take.
Third?
I'd think about it in the third.
Third to early fourth. I think he's like 4th round.
Would you rather have Amari Cooper or Allen Robinson? I know it's apples and oranges, sort of, but
I'd rather have Amari. To tell you the truth.
I think I'd go Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
with 100, with that kind of volume, Amari Cooper's not going to see 150 targets.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. Like, I think Amari's.
But he may have more touchdown upside. Yeah,
yards and whatnot, and then the offense that he's on is probably why I would do that. But yeah, when you go to the fact that Allen Robinson had that many targets, man,
just volume. You can't really argue volume.
If we hear at week 1, it's gonna be Mitch Trubisky as the QB, I won't be in on that. If it's Nick Foles, I think there's a better chance for him to complete these targets because probably some of those targets for him. At 154 and he only caught 98, was it?
Yeah.
And dude, I bet you like most of those were overthrown, underthrown, sideways.
Garbage. Yeah.
Garbage.
All right.
Garbage. Anything else you guys want to touch on the Bears?
It'll be good to see the Lions get 2 wins.
All right. Well, I guess that was. I think that's.
I'll do this. Like, what about David Montgomery? Where would you put him? It's just kind of just like we were talking about with Allen Robinson and all the targets he got. the attempts for David Montgomery
We're up there.
are going to be there.
I mean, 242 is up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of attempts. The yardage is ridiculously
Awful.
bad.
Putrid.
But
I mean, if you know he's going to get that many attempts, a guy in the 4th or 5th round is not too terrible for maybe probably a flex play. If you can get him as a flex, I think that's pretty good.
yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
It's not someone I want to have as an RB2, but I mean, if I feel like my wide receivers are stacked and I got a good running back one, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I've learned my lesson on these guys who I'm just taking for touches. I want upside. I want running backs where I could see instead of somebody who I just know is going to get touches. Like there were years where I took the River Dancer guy for the Ravens.
Alex Collins?
Yep.
Alex Collins had that one magical year, and then he kind of slowed down, and then he was just going to be the guy in Baltimore, and it wasn't really inspiring. Zach Stacy was kind of the same way for a while. There were more guys for the Titans. Sean Green.
Bishop Stanky.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So there have been these guys. There were a couple for the Jets a couple of years back where there wasn't a way really to imagine how they were going to get better throughout the year. They were just supposed to be locked in for touches. But I feel like I've just learned my lesson on taking guys like that. I'd rather take one of the rookies. I think probably any of the rookies. I would take Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins. Any of those rookie running backs I would take over Montgomery.
Yeah, you're right, because there's a lot of upside. But with this team, with how bad they were, don't you think they're going to take at least a step forward? Because Nagy really has to step his game up on the play calling, because that's probably a big point of why this team is so bad.
He left the Chiefs, and the Chiefs got better. You know, and the Bears have sucked since he's been there, and I feel like the league is getting better around them. The NFC North is, with the exception of the Packers, maybe the NFC North is getting better around them. I think so. You know, I think they're going to get worse before they get better. I mean,
well, I think I heard rumors he could be on the hot seat. So I mean, that's
sure. Why wouldn't he be?
So,
I can see that. All right, well let's finish the Bears kind of how we did last pod. Who's I guess a must have? Yeah, I mean, I know
Allen Robinson's probably the must have off of them.
Sure.
Anybody? I'm with you. Anybody disagree?
Yeah, I trust him.
I still would like. I guess if I'm going, my must have it would be him. If I was going to take somebody that I think just has upside, it would definitely be Tariq Cohen.
Yeah.
Agreed, 100%.
Who's your I guess fade?
I mean, I would fade the quarterbacks just on the fact that we don't really know who's going to get the gig.
Montgomery is my fade.
Yeah, and probably Montgomery, because I don't know that I'm willing to come off of a pick there where he would go or where he would need to go, where I wouldn't philosophize some other tomfoolery, you know.
I saw somebody, it was JJ Zacharyson on Twitter, said, if you feel like you should take Fournette, just take David Montgomery instead. Hell no, dude. I think that's insanity.
Yeah, I don't know that I love the downness on Fournette this year. I don't understand quite why people are so down on him.
People are hating, man. It's crazy.
He'll probably come out with a chip.
So maybe I hope he does. Yeah. I can see why people don't love him, but people are hating him.
I know people are hating him like he's garbage.
Me and Gary came up with an idea for what would be an amazing stat if anybody had the time or the technology to work it out.
It will be.
Well, it should be. So it would be interesting if you could contrast everybody's fantasy finish from last year with their ADP this year. So somebody like Stephon Diggs finished as whatever it was. Let's just say wide receiver 18. And now he's being drafted as wide receiver 26.
Correct.
So then you would look at that and you'd contrast it. You'd say that's 8 picks worth of value. And then you would look at the reason. And it would be, the reason would be, well, he switched teams, or it would be Deebo Samuel finished the year as wide receiver 25. Now he's being drafted as wide receiver 35. Sure. And it's because he's hurt right now.
Right.
And I think that would be a great way to kind of visualize value. But somebody, especially like Leonard Fournette, who really hasn't had a situation change. Everybody keeps pointing to, well, the team doesn't even want him. But he's still on the fucking team. He's still the guy. And they keep saying Gruden brought in Chris Thompson. Yeah, but Gruden's done a really good job with like bangers before. Alfred Morris,
Gruden,
Jeremy Hill.
from somebody
you
who
know?
suffered through many seasons with Jay Gruden,
Yeah.
Gruden was never committed to making Chris Thompson a feature back.
Right.
Gruden knew him as his third down back and his passing situation back. And the reason that he became even a fantasy viable option is because we lost all of our running backs that year. I'll never forget it because I was in Philadelphia. I was up there to see Hot Water Music and Strike Anywhere. Strike Anywhere is from Richmond. Anyways, I was up there. Me and Craig were eating Philly cheesesteaks, real ones with Cheese Whiz. It was fantastic. I even had them put jalapenos on there. I'm getting sidetracked. Anyways, I watched Chris Thompson. I watched Chris Thompson break his fibula that afternoon. And here's another guy that is not sized to take on that type of load from Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette's a banger, bro. And he's going to get those carries.
Yeah, I think why analysts are like so heavy on it is because Fournette had like 100 targets. So, I mean, they're saying Chris Thompson came from Washington, which Jay Gruden, of course, was at. And they just think he's going to like take away all those targets. Do I see him like falter or like get a few less targets than that? I mean, 100 targets for a running back is a lot.
It is a lot.
I mean, I can't believe. I mean, we went back and did a 5. I can't believe Lenny got all that. I mean,
yeah. Which I mean, I could still see Lenny getting at least 70 targets.
Yeah, and getting more than 3 touchdowns.
And yeah, because he didn't. I don't think he produced. You could probably know better than I, Shane, but I don't think he produced well in the goal line area.
He had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing. I think I said this last time is that I think his receptions or targets will come down, but his touchdowns are going to come up for sure.
Agreed.
I mean, I also think that he was playing on a team in descent last year because they were basically firing. They fired Coughlin. They fired a bunch of people at the end of the year or whatever, during the year, whatever. And it was a team that wasn't cohesive.
Yeah.
You know, if you get a team that actually is playing together and cohesive, which I don't know that you're going to get that with Jay Gruden as your play caller either. But
I like Jay Gruden. Sorry, go ahead.
I've totally partied at the same Lombardi house he partied at. For sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know that. I still think that he gets the lion's share there. I still think he gets the lion's share because when Gruden had healthy running backs, he would give them the lion's share.
Or the Jaguars share. I like you.
Oh, come on.
Let's
I mean, why you're my nemesis, Gary.
Dude, that's why. Dude, Gardner Minshew's got that team hype, dude. Did you see him shotgunning Gatorade cans?
Oh my God! How cool is that with Divine Zig?
All right, let's finish the Bears.
Let's get back on track.
Who's a sleeper? I'll go ahead and throw out Anthony Miller just because you guys know I love him.
Yeah, I think Anthony Miller.
I'll just say Tariq Cohen again.
But yeah, I can. I was gonna say if I had a plan B or what second pick, it would definitely be Cohen.
The reason why I wouldn't say Cole Kmet is because I mean most rookie tight ends don't really produce that well. So
yep, totally true.
Yeah, I'll go Cohen. Cohen's my sleeper. Not anymore.
All right, boys, let's transition. Let's go to the Pack.
Oh, lots of people transition these days.
Go Pack, go. Zing. All right, so ads for the Packers. Again, I think the Pack. I mean, I think we all agreed on this, along with most of America. The Packers. I don't know if you call it the worst draft, but the most bizarre picks.
It was strange.
So in the first round, they took a quarterback, Jordan Love. They traded up to get this pick, and Jordan Love out of Utah State. Second round, then took running back A.J. Dillon out of Boston College. In the third round, this is fine, but Josiah DeGura, out of Cincy. But I mean, again, everybody's like, "Oh, they're going to go wide receiver. They're going to go wide receiver." They didn't draft a wide receiver the whole draft.
Why would they do that? They're good with one forever.
They added Devin Funchess.
Was that sarcasm?
It was.
in free agency, who has since opted out for the season. And another, as far as losses, we already talked about this. He lost Jimmy G, and then Geronimo Allison went to a team that we're going to talk about soon. So here we are with the Packers, who I mean, I don't know if you want to call it. They're almost I don't. Would you call it the same? They're pretty much the same team as last year. I mean, Geronimo Allison, I said, is gone. He had 55 targets. I mean,
They're stalled. I think stalled is the way to describe them. They've met their peak. They've hit their peak. They're not doing anything to sustain their peak. Aaron Rodgers is for sure getting worse.
I mean, this team went to the NFC Championship game. So I mean,
he still threw for 4,000 yards, and that was without Devontae Adams for. What was he out 3 or 4 games?
4.
So Devontae Adams was out for 4 games. He still had 127 targets and caught 83 passes and almost got 1,000 yards, missing 4 games.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So if you look at it that way, then who were the receivers that were catching the ball?
Aaron Jones, when Devontae Adams was out. Aaron Jones was the guy, at least those 2 games.
Which is probably why Aaron Jones is a natural candidate for regression.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and remember last year, like we were all wondering who's going to be that number two. Marcus Valdez-Scantling wasn't it. It wasn't Equanimeous St. Brown, and it wasn't Geronimo Allison, dude. All of them were so ridiculously bad. So, I mean, starting them was not –
How did we get those numbers?
But, I mean, we're looking at Alan Lazard. I mean, he produced pretty well down the stretch last year. I mean –
yeah, that was Rodgers'
pretty
guy.
good. So, but it just sucks because, I mean, in the second round before they picked A.J. Dillon, I was like, dude, Denzel Mims in fucking Green Bay would be awesome. Yeah. So it's just they just don't really cater to Aaron Rodgers. They just think he's going to be able to do it all, or just maybe they just think he's a.
I mean, they definitely don't cater to him because they drafted a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, It seems like they're looking for that, that transition to the next step.
I mean, But then it's the Packers. I mean, you got to think they drafted Aaron Rodgers in the first round, and he sat for 3 years.
Yes, that's true.
So I mean, but I mean, I know the times has changed since then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of they don't like quarterbacks sit now. I mean, I like the thought of quarterback sitting.
Yeah, I do too. Learning.
So, but I mean,
because it's not every day you can come in. Even the ones that do come in at the beginning usually have a ton of trouble.
Yeah.
Acclimating to the speed of the game.
And especially this year.
Yeah.
And look at Patrick Mahomes, dude, sitting behind Alex Smith.
Uh-huh.
And then, I do know Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams were both drafted the same year, I think. And then that's probably why they got Dillon, just, for next year. Yeah. But I do think he's going to have his chances this year for sure.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a goal line vulture probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hate.
This could, I think this could mark this could signal that Aaron Jones is going to be used as a slot receiver quite a bit more. Just like he did when Devontae Adams was out last year. He was a pretty damn good receiver when Adams was out last year.
I mean, what happened to people like Juwan Moore and like the draft before this when they drafted 3 wide receivers, it was MVS, Juwan Moore,
Equanimeous St. Brown.
There you go. Yeah. What happened to all those guys?
I don't know. I don't remember that name, Juwan Moore, at all.
Juwan Moore, I think the only problem is they're drafting these wide receivers late. They're drafting them late, and they're not NFL ready. So you got to wait another good 2 to 3 years. They're not like DJ Moore coming in.
And you're also probably not drafting
AJ Brown.
You're probably not drafting 4-star recruits at that point, 5-star recruits.
Right. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the number 1 sleeper tight end, guys.
Oh my God, you love him.
Let's go.
What's not to love?
Robert, you got to be talking about Robert Tonyan.
You got to be talking out of your damn mind, boy.
I was talking over there.
Dude, got him. I am hungry for a burger. It is a Stern burger, baby.
Oh,
dude,
that's a lot of mustard on that.
Hey, extra kraut.
All right,
extra cheese on that.
Jimmy Graham gone 60 targets. We got Geronimo 50 targets. I mean, like you guys said, I mean, somebody's got to be this number 2 wide receiver.
Who does?
And it's not going to be a wide receiver, guys. It's the Sternberger.
Sternberger, no coke.
Dude, he is going to eat.
I mean, I've got him on a taxi squad. I'm really hoping you're correct about that.
I got him tattooed on my arm because he is the dog.
Oh,
dude,
wow.
He is going to kill it. He's killing it this year.
Say you won't.
Dude, oh man,
there's actually
you got to tattoo him on your arm.
Honestly, there's really not that much to love about the Packers.
That's what I'm saying.
I
They
mean,
stalled. They're on the way down.
Don't get me wrong. I love Devontae Adams. I mean, he's great, right? As long as his turf toe doesn't flare up, he's good for 16 games and like probably 1,300 yards and I don't know, 8 or 9 touchdowns.
I mean, where's the at y'all's wide receiver? Let's talk about is Michael Tom. I mean,
He's top 5.
Yeah,
easy top 5, just because of his prowess as a receiver.
Yeah,
and you pair that with targets, and it's bam, boomtown. So I'd put him up there with Michael Thomas and Julio, and he's in my top 5.
Yeah, he's a top. I mean,
easy top 5.
Yeah, I think he's got to be in your top 5. If he came to me, I would really try to take a stud tight end or a running back in lieu of that position, and then get Galladay around later. I would rather not take Adams.
I like that strategy.
Oh,
I remember that.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You said you're trying to steer around Devontae, Shane? I
would because I still think he's going to have a good year, but he's being taken pretty early. People are. I think he's being drafted as the number 2 wide receiver.
I mean, he's the first round wide receiver. He's a first round pick. I mean,
I would definitely not take him the first.
Well, if he didn't get injured last year, he would have been great. But I'm fading more on somebody like DeAndre Hopkins and more into Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially since there's nobody else to really take targets from him.
Right, exactly.
His floor is. Guy. I mean, granted, I don't really like to draft floors necessarily as much as I do ceiling, but as far as like a safe pick, he's going to get the volume, and he's going to catch the majority of it as long as he's healthy. And I mean, you can't really go into health for somebody who had turf toe, I guess. You know what I mean? Because Calvin Johnson had turf toe one year, and the next year he came back and was awesome. It just, I think all the greats get turf toe. It's like a rite of passage.
Amari Cooper.
There you go.
Oh boy.
Stub your big toe.
We call him a great.
Got one boy.
So all right, so let's go back. Let's talk a little AJ Dillon, because obviously, so Aaron Jones definitely exceeded what everybody thought last year. I mean, albeit 16 rushing touchdowns. Again, nobody, called for this. So Aaron Jones, 236 attempts. Jamal Williams, 107 attempts. A good handcuff, a nice sleeper, not a good late-round pick. Do you guys think A.J. Dillon does nothing? Do you think A.J. Dillon, cuts into somebody's carries? Do you think it's an even split? Do you think he cuts into, Aaron Jones carries more than Jamal's? I mean, vice versa? I mean, what are you guys going on this?
I don't think this is good for go ahead. I don't think this is good for Jamal Williams at all. It just – plus, I mean, we got to see what A.J. Dillon is probably a monster in the short yards, but we also got to see is he good at pass blocking and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's one thing. And, I mean, the good thing is for Green Bay, they know they have Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams without a preseason for A.J. Dillon to get acclimated with the team.
Right.
So, at least within the beginning of the season, we're going to see more Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones. So.
Good point.
Look at I'm sorry, Shane, but I was going to say, just point out Dexter Williams last year. It's just so crazy how they drafted him. Wasn't anywhere near that. So obviously they've seen something like that happen to him. So
AJ Dillon's got some hype. I know Morg, you're pretty big on him, right, Morg?
I mean, I liked him coming out of college just because of his workload in college. And he's a banger. I love those big boys.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's like Michael Turner, dude. If he has a Michael Turner career, that's an awesome career.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
I think the reason that I was kind of into A.J. Dillon was I was thinking more about the contract situations of Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. Yes. And given that every team with the exception of the Cowboys, has a propensity to not pay running backs, it left me to think somebody's getting cut this year or somebody's getting let go, whether it's Aaron Jones or Jamal Williams. I think they're going to re-sign Aaron Jones and let go of Jamal Williams and use Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon as a thunder and lightning tandem.
That'd be perfect.
Because I feel like Aaron Jones has definitely got that shiftiness and speediness that maybe Dillon doesn't. But I think Dillon can carry 4 dudes across the line.
Yep.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
So maybe think of it as like a Lindell White and Chris Johnson type of combo.
Dude, that was
badass. Those were the days. Oh,
you know what I mean? But they use them in that sort of thing, that sort of tandem of Dash and Bash or Lightning and Thunder, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like that's kind of what LaFleur wants to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's also too why they're not necessarily concerned with getting Aaron Rodgers a bunch of weapons to throw to.
Well, yeah. I remember watching a game last year when Devontae was out and Aaron Jones was the pass catching. He was the number one target that week, and he was great, man. I just remember thinking like, this is something that Aaron Jones could certainly do more of.
Yeah.
So all right. So we've talked about the running backs, wide receivers. I mean, I guess we really haven't talked about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I just feel like there's been a lot of negativity towards him. I mean, this guy was he's been the MVP. I mean, I get he's getting older. I mean, look, he threw 4 interceptions last year, guys.
I know, which is pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's just he's not the guy he used to be. I mean, he used to be the number one quarterback, no question, for years.
What gets me, dude, is if he was the Browns quarterback right now. Like, could you imagine him with those 2 wide receivers?
Oh yeah, it'd be great.
Like, it'd be insane. But that's the fact that like Green Bay has never given him that. It's insane, dude. It's like, what do you want from this guy? Like, I mean, to be honest, when Brady retires, what if he went to Tampa Bay, like, or something? It's just insane. And if they're going to go that Jordan Love train, it's just insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I guess maybe I do expect too much of him, but it's just.
Even if you had the Detroit wide receivers, if you had Marv and Galladay, good night.
Oh yeah, dude, he'd crush.
Good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene. No, wait. Good night, Irene.
Come on, Irene.
No, you're thinking of Come On, Eileen. And I was singing
Good night,
and I was singing Good Night, Irene, good night. It's an older song.
You think about what Shane just saw in Brazzers before we started recording?
Forward me that link, Shane.
Dude, Brazzers, get the fuck out of here. It's all about that.
It's a best ball league, y'all.
Dude, ball shot was coming.
Big ding dong, big ding da dong dong.
Bing ding ding dong.
Wait, all right. So who is?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, who is?
Who's the must-have?
Who's the number? No, who's the number 2 receiver on the Packers?
Lazard. I could see a big step up coming for Lazard.
No, I like
full
it.
Season. Yeah,
I like it. All right. Yeah. All right. So who is the must-have?
Adams.
Yeah.
And Jones. I like them both.
Yeah, I'd say Aaron Jones probably.
What the fuck?
What is that?
What are y'all talking about?
Shane has a puppet, everybody.
Is that a wallaby?
No, this is a mouse. It's a field mouse.
I thought you had your hand in a beaver.
This
Thank you.
This is Otis's boy.
All right.
Gary, who's your must-have?
Must-have.
Don't give me no musty either. I want must-have.
Well, Devontae Adams, I mean, nowadays I think I'm looking at running back in the first round.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to say Devontae Adams. And it's like Aaron Jones, like, it's hard to tell, like, those who you're playing against. Like, do I want to creep up and get him in the second round? Or, like, I mean, do I just want to wait for him in the third?
I got a question for you.
Wait for him in the third, Aaron Jones.
How about this, Gary? You're a pick 14. Okay.
In a 2-team league? I mean, I'm sorry, 12-team.
12-team league, yeah. So you're the 11th pick. So you're at the second pick of the second round. Both of them are available. Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones. Who are you going to take?
Okay.
Let's say you took Tyreek Hill in the first.
I don't think Devontae is going to fall that far. But
he might. I think he might.
I'd take Devontae over Tyreek, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would.
Really?
Yeah.
I really think
he got 127 targets in 12 games, dude.
Yeah.
That's a lot of targets.
Yeah.
What's that? What is that? 10.7 targets a game.
That means
10 point
44 were no
something?
good, though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know,
Yeah.
that also means he wasn't good on 44 of them, or they weren't good targets. And maybe that's because he was double covered, or maybe he was probably playing through injury off that turf toe, so he may not have had the same ability to break away. But I still, if he's healthy, I think that his target share is elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is going to be one of the
you could
most
see
targeted.
it. Then he would, like, projection wise, if he plays 16 games, it's 167 targets. Like, I mean,
Yeah, that would work.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
only
that'd
7
work.
more
I'd
than
be okay
Terry
with
McLaurin.
that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That's only 7 more than Terry McLaurin, though.
Who's y'all's fade?
Can we pick Rodgers?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's picking Rodgers, so I won't do that. Adams is my fade.
Okay.
I mean, where he's going, especially if he's going before Tyreek Hill, ain't no way.
Well, I guess, like, to reiterate, I'd rather have Devontae Adams in the first than Aaron Jones in the second. If that makes sense.
I'm fading Jamal Williams
Mm.
in general.
I don't. Man,
Yeah.
this is really tough. Why did I ask this question to myself? I'm.
I feel like you have to account for the fact that Aaron Jones is going to naturally have regression because it's going to be hard to match 16 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to be overdrafting him to get him. So in
I
that
think
case,
he had
I would say
19 total.
fade.
Yeah.
He had 19 total touchdowns. That's pretty unheard of, actually, for a running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, as much as the term bugs me, regression to the mean, he's going to come back.
Yeah.
You know.
I think
They weren't all. Remember that year LeGarrette Blount had 18 touchdowns and a lot of them were goal line.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had like 3 goal line touchdowns one game. Like Aaron Jones's weren't like that most of the time. So a lot of them were long. A lot of them were, I guess 3 of them were receiving. But Aaron Jones he's pretty awesome. So yeah, you're right. I mean, it'd be hard to imagine him scoring 19, but I can still imagine him being a 12 touchdown guy, even if Dylan's getting some of the goal line carries.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, even if he had 10 touchdowns, you're losing 36 fantasy points right there.
Right.
If it comes down to 10. So, I mean, it's just worth thinking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I kind of got a whopper for you because I really hate to throw shade on Jay Sternberger, if you know what I mean.
Not a whopper. How dare you?
Go on, Gary. Go on.
Well, I like Sternberger, but I don't think he's going to put us in like a good top 12. Like, would you like that? Like, I don't think we're going to get a true top 12 from him right yet. Next year for sure. But it's going to be, if I'm getting Jay Sternberger, I know I have to back him up with another tight end. So, I mean, if I'm not getting those top 3, top 4 tight ends and I'm getting Jay Sternberger, I know I'm going to have to wait late. If I don't get those tight ends, right, you're going to wait till in the latter year.
No, I 100% agree with you. I mean, yeah, I'm overhyping him, but I don't know. I think this is the year that I think the previous couple of years, as far as tight end goes, there's been a very steep cliff. And I think this year, I don't think it's as steep. I think it's kind of level to an extent. I think there's some mid-round tiers. I think there's your Hoopers, there's your Hayden Hurst, there's your Jonnu Smith, there's Sternberger, Gesicki, kind of guys that you can kind of take mid-draft and be happy with. I think Sternberger maybe is on the far end of this, but I'm just saying, like,
he's probably going to be my third best tight end in this division.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for this year. Next year, I could see him as the top, maybe 2.
Yeah. No. But no, I mean, if we're gonna transition to the sleepers, obviously he's my sleeper. But does anybody else have a sleeper?
I think Lazard. Lazard would be the guy. I like AJ Dillon as a sleeper too, if he could qualify.
Yeah.
I think he's a good pick for this year.
Mark?
Got nothing to add.
Tony, I'm good. New team.
Oh, baby, let's go.
Let's go to the Vikes.
That's right.
The Vikings.
Well, Dalvin Cook's not happy.
All right,
not,
hold on.
right?
Wait. All right, let's additions. First round, wide receiver Justin Jefferson, LSU.
Whoop, whoop.
5th round, wide receiver KJ Osborne, Miami. 7th round, Nate Stanley. Why didn't I say this? Nate Stanley, quarterback from Iowa. Losses, Diggs. Did I get them all?
Sounds like it.
So yeah, I mean, like as far as official losses, Diggs is there. Man, if Dalvin decides not to play, that sucks. But with Diggs, that frees up 94 targets for Justin Jefferson. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think Irv Smith will get more.
Probably. I mean, so I guess the question is Kyle Rudolph about to be unseated? You know, because I feel like Kyle Rudolph's he was good down the stretch, I guess, like the last 3 or 4 games last year, I think he really did damage.
He had some amazing catches at the end of the season.
But it took him a long time to really produce. So I guess my question would be, is it time to unleash Irv? Is he coming this year?
This is why I'd like we'll talk about the other tight end in the next team. But I think Irv Smith's gonna be the top dog for sure. He's more athletic than that aging Kyle Rudolph, and plus he's being flanked out on the outside during practice. And plus, I mean, we got to think, who are the wide receivers here for this team?
Right.
Thielen's a guy.
They're going to look to Irv Smith, which I think they're going to do a 12 personnel with 2 tight ends more often. And if you're going to flank Irv Smith, who's capable of doing it, when I heard that they were flanking him out, I tried to look at his 40 time, and it's only 4.63. Like, I mean, that's Josh Jacobs' speed, which is not even that great.
Right.
But I just think he's capable of running routes. He's not your typical prototypical your tight end for a blocking tight end. So this is why I think Irv Smith, he's going to be a monster. I just think Kyle Rudolph this year he's going to take away his like red zone touchdowns at times. That's why I don't think you're going to be able to see a unleashed Irv Smith, kind of like George Kittle in his second year. You didn't see it in his second year. You're going to see it in his third year for sure.
Sure.
So I'm big on Irv Smith, dude. I'm huge on Irv Smith. What's that?
They said they were almost equal in target share last year. They both Irv Smith had 47 and Rudolph had 48.
Yeah, they're right there.
Targets on the year. So, I mean, there's definitely room for either one of them to get more targets. How much of an impact do you think Jefferson makes in his rookie year?
Oh, he was my favorite wide receiver in this draft. I can see him making a huge impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think he was the best, but he was just my favorite to watch. And to me, it looks like he's going to be ready immediately. But
he's going to have to be, dude.
He does have to be for this team to be viable. I mean, Thielen's targets can go through the roof. Thielen can be like 130, I don't know, probably 140 target guy. I think he probably will. But even with that being the case, they brought in Tajay Sharp from the Titans.
Yeah, good
Tajay Sharp's going to get some.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's who I forgot. Good call. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. So they brought him in, and that's a guy that can probably get, maybe 60 targets if Justin Jefferson isn't as good as I think he could be. But if Justin Jefferson's as good as I think he's going to be an 80 to 90 target guy and do work with those.
Well,
Thielen's awesome. And go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Cause, okay. Kirk Cousins, he threw the third least amount of passes last year compared to they threw more than the Ravens. They threw more than the Titans, but that's the only 2 teams. This year, I think they're going to throw more. They're going to have to because they're going to be behind games with that defense since they lost those 2 cornerbacks. So Thielen, like in 2017, he got 143 targets. 2018, 155. 2019, 48. Like I'm right where you said. I think Justin Jefferson is going to get 95 to 100 targets.
Oof, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be like short to intermediate because he's going to be that guy who's going to be on the inside in the slot for the most time. And then, like I said with Irv Smith, I looked at his 40 time, like it was 4.63. And then I looked at Tajay Sharp's. He was only 4.55. And like I'm trying to think, like who's going to be this burner to take the top off for this this offense to make defenses kind of settle back? And there's nobody really.
Jefferson's
Like I don't
fast
see,
as hell, dude.
yeah, I don't see anybody really at all. So I'm trying to think. Adam Thielen, like he's probably going to get 150 targets.
Yeah,
like,
it could happen.
bar none.
Yeah.
And I think like, dude,
he's got to stay healthy.
Jefferson's going to get his targets too. And I did see that Dalvin Cook kind of he just said he's not worried about the contract talks now. So he's pretty much with the team. So it just depends. You know, I mean, they need Dalvin Cook. If they don't, Alexander Madison's a good back, but he's not Dalvin Cook. So.
He's not Dalvin, but I think he could do pretty good. And Mike Boone behind him is a guy I like too.
But pretty good is not enough for a team that needs a lot on offense. You know,
it's a good point.
They need Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook's not. Yeah, you're right. Madison's not Dalvin Cook. It's a good point.
So the Vikings lost Stefanski
and got
as their offensive coordinator
and got Shermer, right?
Yeah. So I think there could be a little change, but I mean I'm totally with you guys. I mean, yeah, Cousins was like what do you say he's like bottom 3 in passing attempts, but I think it's something that has to be factored in. So Thielen was hurt 2019. He only played 10 games.
Yeah.
But I mean, but the year before
he left a lot of those early too.
Yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, and the year before he was like he was top 10 wide receiver. I mean, he balled out.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm totally on Shane's side with the whole Jefferson upside. Like I think the upside is there.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a PPR machine. So
Treadwell's gone too, for what it's worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of weird, man.
Worth anything, Shane.
Good point. Very good point.
I was going to say it's kind of weird, guys, because like everybody thought the Eagles were going to take Justin Jefferson. Which makes me wonder, like, what the Vikings were going to do.
Dude,
if Jefferson was with the Eagles. So I mean, it's just would they pick a burner? Would they pick like Ayuk or who was it, Rager or somebody like that? Like I mean,
dude, Jefferson played in the slot a lot in college, but Jefferson is a burner.
Jefferson worked the field. He excelled in the slot. But I think a lot of players excel.
So I didn't see his 40 time.
I think it's 4.33.
Oh, if that's the case, then they got their guy for that.
All right, let's talk about RB1, Dalvin Cook.
Ooh. That's bold, boy.
I know you're happy.
No, I just wanted – I thought I'd get a little more reaction out of you guys. But
I can see it.
I took him with my first pick in Scott Fish.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Gary just told me he's not worried about the contract makes me a little happier.
Yeah.
I think he said he came out and said he's like I'm just
trying to.
He's not going to sit. I don't think.
Nah. It's just I mean the way the CDC or whatever it is now. Like I mean it's hard for running backs to just sit out for the season. So.
But I think what they can do is show up to practice, but just not practice. They're not allowed to opt out because it hurts them, but they can just show up and choose not to practice.
Yeah.
By the way, Justin Jefferson's 40 time is 4.43.
Dude, that's what's up. Hell yeah. So that's what they needed for that. I just like Shane, I don't know. I got to watch some videos of him. I know you probably watch more than I do.
Oh my God.
But like, I just saw a lot of dig routes, out routes, small slants. I didn't see him like go for like up the seam and stuff. So I want to watch that.
I'll be honest. I don't know what any of those routes, I don't know what any of those names mean. All I know is when I watch Justin Jefferson highlights, he's incredible.
All I know, he's a G.
Oh, dude, he's such a G. And, I mean, you could make the argument that he had a better quarterback last year than he will this year in Joe Burrow, certainly at the competition level. But still, I expect he's going to ball out.
So you think – wait, hold on. Who's going to have more fantasy points this year, Joe Burrow or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins. But Joe Burrow versus college athletes is much better than Kirk Cousins versus NFL athletes.
Agreed. That's a good way to put it.
Well played.
What an analogy.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're kind of neck and neck. Joe Burrow and Kirk Cousins.
This year?
I could see
Yeah.
Cincinnati getting behind in games a lot
Mm-hmm.
and
having to shoot.
therefore padding those stats out a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit of that garbage time. I mean, hell, if Blake Bortles could be a viable quarterback,
That's right.
I mean, anybody can throw for some garbage once you're down 35 points. Not saying that will happen for Cincinnati, but we're not even talking about Cincinnati. We're talking about
Talking about practice.
Vikings. But
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, I think, I don't know that he matches the amount of attempts he had last year. I thought didn't he throw it a lot?
No, he
threw it less,
Yeah,
right?
they were
He
run
threw it
heavy.
lowest,
he was,
right?
he was like bottom 5 in attempts.
So I figure they'll probably he'll probably be better than that, right? As far as attempts.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I would think so.
I think he'd at least be like 20th in attempts because the way I saw it was like the rushing attempts they had last year was 4th in the league, which was great with Dalvin Cook. So, I mean, and the rushing yards were 6th in the league. So, I mean, that's why they need Dalvin Cook. I mean, it's hard for them to have to give him the money he wants.
But their team is also built around what he does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, Alexander Madison ain't bad, but he's not Dalvin Cook.
He's just not Dalvin. Yeah.
I mean, he had 100 attempts, and his average was better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, barely, but
About point one.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, neither of them were no Mike Boone.
I love Mike Boone, dude.
I mean, Mike Boone averaged 5.6 yards per play.
Yeah.
He's sick. Mike Boone is sick, man.
He got the COVID?
Nah, he's fine.
Oh, different sort of sick. Sorry. I was worried about his well-being.
Get that COVID,
I
bro.
was worried about it.
He got that corona?
But
Well,
I mean,
Dalvin also produces in the passing game too, which is not something that Madison really did. He only had 10 receptions last year.
yeah.
He had 63 targets.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's be honest, guys. So, is Dalvin right after Saquon and Zeke, or do you have somebody else in there?
Well, he's after
Kamara.
Okay. I mean, I'm throwing it out there.
I would say it would be CMC, Saquon, Zeke, Kamara, Cook. Probably.
I would take Dalvin if I knew that Dalvin wasn't holding out. I would take Cook and possibly Kamara over Zeke. And I'm gonna have a chance to put my money where my mouth is next Friday.
I can't fucking wait.
Zeke's already. All right, think of this though. Zeke's already had coronavirus.
Yeah,
you can't sit out if you've already had it. Just
that's
saying.
true. I feel like there's a lot working against Zeke in my opinion. And it's kind of all hidden, but I just don't want Zeke.
Let him fall to me at 8.
Dude.
It will never happen.
Never.
I just see defenses stacking the box.
No, hell to the no.
I see defenses stacking the box more on the Vikings than the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Which makes it harder on Dalvin. So I mean, if Dalvin had the same attempts as Zeke, I think the only thing that Dalvin does better than Zeke is the passing game for sure, which is substantial in PPR leagues.
Yeah.
And as for me with that, Shane, I think that Zeke's playing on a better overall team.
Yeah.
All around. So therefore it opens up more opportunity for him because they have to honor the receivers and vice versa. Whereas
I'll agree with you there.
I mean,
it's just a gut feeling.
Not to say that the Vikings aren't a good team. I just think there's a lot more to look at and a lot more moving parts that could really get behind you on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
For right now. Until I see Justin Jefferson go out there and absolutely awe me, which I'm hoping for.
Dude, just pull up some Justin Jefferson LSU highlights. They're so great.
Wait.
I'm excited for all of it. You know?
I mean, the potential is there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Shane, are you watching it right now?
What?
Justin Jefferson highlights?
No.
JJ?
You watching Dame? What you doing?
I had to check in on that score.
Okay. What's the score?
Lakers are kind of running away with it, 78-52.
This is bullshit.
Really? No shit.
Yeah.
We need real fans there.
Little Wayne was in the fans on one of the cameras.
Nice.
Wheezy.
So did we? I know we talked about it last pod, and I think I wasn't getting as drunk as Gary, but I was going with him.
Well, I'm on beer 3 now, so I mean 4 is really likely.
I'm on beer 2, but I had 2 mules before.
Oh, that's a good combo.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
So wait, so I know we talked about the top handcuffs. Madison's got to be a top 5 handcuff, right?
But only if you don't own him.
Yeah.
There's a whole logic behind that. But anyways,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't like handcuffing players with the players you
I
have
can't
because
do it.
you're killing your ceiling.
I won't talk about it anymore. I won't bring it up, guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's
Why?
okay.
What do you
Why?
mean?
You're fine.
But
Like Morgan's just making a.
It's just a philosophical point of view about how I like to do roster construction. I don't like taking handcuffs of my own people because I feel like you limit yourself, because if your guy that you took with your first round pick never gets hurt, that guy you took down the line has no opportunity to play whatsoever.
I agree with that, unless it's a shared backfield. If I could get Swift and Carry-On, I would do it. If I could get Hunt and Chubb, I would do it. Although the cost for them is too much.
If the price point was right.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I don't want Zeke and Pollard. I don't want Cook and Madison.
But I would say that Madison and Pollard and Latavius Murray should probably be 3 of the top handcuffs to go for.
Agreed. They're 3 of the best starting running backs.
Yeah, and they're in run-heavy offenses for the most part.
All right, so let me rephrase. So say you're a 0 running back strategist.
Then this is your guy.
That's okay. Yeah. Is he one of your? He has to be.
Then
Is he like a top 3 target, a top 5 target?
He's a top 3 target if you're a 0 running back kind of philosophy. Yeah, for sure. I would, because he does have the upside, especially since Dalvin Cook does have injury history.
Yeah.
He'd be high up there. Yeah, he's top 5 at least.
Yeah.
Can we veer off of this real quick?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Madison's a top 5. You know who ought to be one in the top 10 and is not getting any hype or any love whatsoever? Gio Bernard ought to be in the top 10 of handcuffs.
I like that.
Nobody's brought him up.
He's good for at least 23 points a game once a year or twice. I know this because I've had him. I've had him for years as just a later round running back.
Yeah.
Especially since the deeper the league gets, the more you have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And almost every year that I've had him, he's had a starting role for 1 to 2 weeks during that season where he cracks you a win because of it.
Dude, if Mixon goes down, my boy R.A. is gone. Rodney Anderson, as much as I hate it, the thrill is gone. It's over.
He's just physically unable to perform, dude. He can't get past that stuff.
Goddamn shame.
It is. If he was healthy, dude, they wouldn't have to re-sign.
Joe Mixon?
Yeah.
Dude, Rodney Anderson was the shit.
He was fun to watch, dude.
Fucking bummer.
I think he'll end up somewhere else. Dude, XFL, let's go, baby. The Rock is the owner now. Do we even talk about that?
No.
Dude, mind fucking blown. I can't wait to go a game. I mean, I was excited to go anyways.
I know. But now it's owned by somebody reputable as opposed to those damn McMahons.
He's going to do it right. The thrill is gone.
Yeah.
And an ode to Rodney A. He was the podcast face.
Absolutely. 100%.
It started with the podcaster formerly known as Brad.
Mm.
And then
No. Whoa. No. I introduced Brad into the world of Rodney Anderson.
Yeah, right. Brad just has him. Like Shane was the guy to bring in Rodney Anderson.
Brad had
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Shane was like Rodney Anderson, a.k.a. a fucking hunk. Like,
Brad was just a little asshole.
You were heavy on him. He was able to get him at a decent time, like in a rookie. He's like, I'm the best in the world. I'm like, not really.
Thank you. Thank you for defending my honor.
Yeah, of course, dude. Like, you were heavy on him. Dude, if he didn't get injured in college, he would have been right behind the best of all time, Josh Jacobs.
I think it was pretty close. Like Rodney Anderson, it was just like Chubb. It was kind of the same discussion about Rodney Anderson and Chubb. Because Chubb, it looked like, might not come back from that injury. He did. But Rodney Anderson was, I think, as dominant as Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we got to talk about – okay, never mind. I was about to just have a clutch segue, but I know we have more Vikings to talk. But can I tell you what it was going to be?
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of Nick Chubb, let's talk about a guy that averaged more yards per carry than him at the same team, DeAndre Swift. Ooh, that's going to be a good segue.
I think we're done the Vikings.
No, we got to
We got to do our fades and our
Let's knock it out. Let's knock it out real quick. All right, who's our must?
Right.
Hey, let's make it Swift, guys.
Oh, come on, boy.
Gary, must have Dalvin all around.
I would say Dalvin's the must have.
Here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fade.
I'm fading Thielen.
Mm.
He's 31 this year. 31.
Yeah.
Man, he was a product of Stephon Diggs.
Ooh, I like that, but
I might fade Kirk Cousins.
I mean, I think
I don't.
We're taking
any
the
of
quarterbacks
him.
every time.
I don't want him anywhere near.
Okay, I will. I this is. I don't know how much of how bold or whatever. I'm fading Rudolph in favor of Irv Smith going full on tight end. Not tight end not like I'm not a fantasy football tight end one, but like the tight end one for the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And he could be a weekly. You know, I mean, if you're a tight end, you know, waiver wire guy, then I think he's worth it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'll probably. I mean, it seems reasonable. But I'm probably just going to fade Alexander Madison now that we know that Dalvin Cook's in.
That would actually be my fade too.
Yeah. I'm not really worried about taking him really at all, especially in redraft at all.
Yeah.
Ever.
All right.
I still think he's a good pick, but the price maybe might get a little high.
What about sleepers?
Dude, I'll take Justin Jefferson in the 10th if he's available at the 10th.
In
I don't
redraft?
know if people are taking him that early. Fucking whatever. But like he's gonna have the targets, man. The way I'm looking at it, like they gotta throw. Like their defense is not gonna be the same as last year. They gotta throw at some point. 444 attempts for Kirk Cousins, although let's say he's gonna throw 475 because he lost the game. Like
oh shit.
Oh, look who's joining.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, wait.
Where are you at?
Dude, bring him in. Let's get straight to the Bills.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Straight to the Eagles.
Dude, he's in a car.
He's driving. That makes it even better.
I'm in my parking lot.
He's been like, yeah, I'm
I'll just
driving.
check and see if you guys are talking. What are you guys talking about?
Dude, all right, and speed fire. Who is your must-have player on the Vikings?
Probably Dalvin.
Who is your fade?
Oh.
You look like such a creeper right now.
It's the lighting.
Sorry.
Can you get yourself pulled over by a cop so we can get some good lighting on you?
Right here.
Oh, even better. There's that beautiful face.
There we go.
Who's a fade? I don't know, man. Oh, I'll tell this just to piss Shane off. Justin Jefferson.
What a dick.
Yes.
That's Gary just announced he's his sleeper and he's my sleeper too, dude.
Yeah. So, all right. So now we're at sleepers. I'm going Irv. I'm going back to Irv. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I think Irv, sure.
All right, wait. All right, Dan, tell me the possibilities of this. How about Dalvin Cook over Zeke this year?
I like it.
Ooh, there we go.
I mean,
you're on the right side.
What's your reasoning?
You're on the right side because
let's
on
get
your
Dan's
side.
reasoning for that.
I think y'all talked about it earlier, like last week on the pod, about me trading. No, wait, did y'all talk about that or no?
What was it?
Wait, did I trade Gary or did I trade Morg? It's the same league.
Oh, you traded Gars.
Okay, I traded
Dalvin
Cook. I think I got DeAndre Swift out of it though.
Ooh, good pick.
Yeah, you traded somebody for Morg, but it wasn't Morg. Who did he trade you for? It's Miles. Sanders.
You traded me Miles Sanders for Rob Woods and Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah. But I traded for Dalvin Cook, and I gave you Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson in my first.
So I ended up through those trades with DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, and Keyshawn Vaughn. And that
Damn.
on me for the Vaughn trade last week, but I love him a lot.
We did.
Well, I
They
mean,
roast the
Keyshawn
trade,
Vaughn,
sorry.
I think, that's what it was. Is Keyshawn Vaughn, like he thought that you got early, but this was like the week or two after the draft.
Correct.
I mean, the week
It
or
was like
two
right
after the
after
draft,
that.
you're like, give me all those fucking running backs for sure. So
Yeah.
I don't blame you on that.
And I'm stacked at wide receiver on that team. So
Dude, DeAndre Swift and J.K. Dobbins. That's pretty solid.
and I already have Zeke on there too. So
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, guys, we got ahead of ourselves. So our boy, I mean, you guys have heard Dan on the pod before. Dan Webster at DWebster341 on the Twitter is here.
Yeah.
Dude, it's great to see
That's
you.
who we
man.
got all excited about.
Dude, he's looking studly.
Yeah, man.
He's looking great. He's coming out of Maryland. He's not. He was an 804 guy for a while, but he's here.
back to 4-1-0.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But here we are, Dan. We're at our last team of the night. Do you want to guess who it is?
The Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
In keeping things in traditional order of last place, the
Yeah.
Lions will be last.
Oh,
Dude,
it
dagger.
stings. It stings because it's true.
But you know what, though? The only team, the Redskins broke your losing streak. Y'all were on a 24-game losing streak, and you beat the Redskins.
That was on my honeymoon. It was on my honeymoon, and me and Tony were sitting in our rental car, and we listened to it, and it was like the beginning of the promising Matthew Stafford era. It was incredible.
It was, and I knew watching it we were going to lose from the onset. Dude,
it was one of the best experiences of my life. It was magical.
It was almost as good as getting married, wasn't it?
My
Yes.
wife.
Yes, they
Hey,
were similar.
can I open this? Like,
You
I
remember
think
oh God, who was it? Was it Dennis Green who said we had him and we let him off the hook?
If you want to crown him,
Yes.
crown him.
Curtis was in Hawaii on his honeymoon, eating breakfast when that speech was given,
Oh, that's amazing.
and he was watching Dennis Green give the "We let him off the hook" speech. Oh, what a great one! The best thing to happen when you get married. All the best football stuff.
dude, Shane, if this is the year that the Lions can win a division, I think this is it.
This is it, dude.
This is the capability. I mean, with the Vikings not looking too hot, maybe even the Bears, and like they're still not helping Aaron Rodgers with wide receivers in fucking Green Bay. I think this is it for Detroit.
It's
It's now or never. It's now or never.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, well, maybe never, but I mean, it's now.
Yeah. It's not. I like that. I like that. I don't know if we can go
All right,
from that.
let's build this hype train, guys. Let's talk about what the
Let's do
Lions
it.
did in the off season. Ads. Geronimo Allison. COVID.
Yeah, he's already gone.
That was almost as good as me trading him to Shope for a second rounder.
That was a good trade.
Fuck you did. Yeah. All right. Fifth round. Jason Hunley, running back, New Mexico State.
He's
Fifth
fast.
round. Wide receiver, Quintez Cephas, Wisconsin.
Matt Wallman.
Yeah, big time.
Did I forget anybody?
Oh yeah. I think you might have forgot one guy. I
Second
think we picked up
round.
some guy in the second round.
DeAndre Swift, running back.
Ooh.
Running back University, a.k.a. Georgia Bulldog.
All time leading yards per carry at the running back university, dude.
Losses, I couldn't. Was it JD Messick a loss?
J.D. McKissick, yeah, they lost him. Yeah.
And that's all I got.
But it wasn't really a loss.
Yeah.
Darius.
Yeah. Darius Slay. Yep, that's right.
The
He went to the
defense.
Eagles.
Yeah, so yeah, your cornerback won.
Yeah.
They're hurting on defense this year.
Yeah, but we also got Jeff Okudah, the best cornerback in the draft. And a pretty
Dude, he's getting beat by Cephas right now.
Really?
Yeah, Cephas is outdoing him right now.
Okay.
Didn't
all right.
Akuda say that Cephas was the best wide receiver he went up against?
That's
in college?
Yeah, he said that in
That's right.
college. He's like, "That's the best wide receiver he ever went up against." So,
Mm,
and he's the number 3 overall pick in the college. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
mm.
Hmm.
Dude,
But I mean,
this
maybe
is-
he's good against fucking Marv. Maybe he's good against Galladay, but he ain't good against Cephas apparently.
So I mean, I don't know. I think on the Lions' benefit, like when we talked about the Steelers in previous pods, I think a lot of the stats, I think a lot of fantasy stuff is skewed from last year because Stafford
Oh.
only played half of the season. I mean, so Galladay, 8 games with Stafford, 7 touchdowns. After that, 4 touchdowns.
Right.
With Galladay playing 4 games with Stafford, he went over 100 yards for those games.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't know, like a lot of these stats, I think it's really skewed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
It was a lost year. It was a complete lost year.
Yeah, I mean,
Isn't Marv like that too?
Yeah, he was hurt. Marv was hurt quite a bit of the season.
yeah.
Was he like better with Stafford though?
Oh yeah, up 100%.
Like his
Yeah, I
step-
mean they've got. I mean both of the. I mean this team is built around him.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. And when he's healthy, I mean last year he took a big step in this Darrell Bevel offense, and I think so. It was a back injury. It actually came from the previous season, but he kind of played through some pain early in the season, and then when it looked like the season was lost. But you got to remember too. I'm sidetracking, but most of the Lions, I think the first 7 losses the Lions had, no, the first 5 losses the Lions had while Stafford was healthy were by less than a touchdown. So they were in every game, and every game was close, and just ended up coming down to a Lions, a loss. So, when Stafford was out for the season, I think my thinking behind it is they made the choice. Let's get him out of here. Let's get him ready for the following season, and let's kind of build up for next year to be a big year for us. So this is with Galladay and Marv. I mean, that's close. There's some teams that have a better 1A and 1B. Tampa Bay comes to mind, but there aren't many that have a better 1A and 1B. We've got 2 good receivers. Galladay, dude, I think there's a really good chance next year we'll be talking Galladay in the top 5. There's a great chance.
Dude, no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, if we have a healthy Matt Stafford, I think he's going to be better than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's going to be the best quarterback in this division. I think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback for sure.
Oh yeah. I agree. I agree easy. If he's healthy, I'd be shocked if he's not top 8. To be honest.
You guys Trubisky?
What's that,
dude?
You guys don't like Mr. Trubisky?
Dude, look, in 8 games, 2,500 yards. If he played 16 games, there's a chance he could have had 5,000 yards.
He's had 5,000 before.
Yeah. I mean,
he was the youngest quarterback to ever get to 5,000.
And his wide receivers, like you were saying, too, are great. But, I mean, it's all like TJ Hawkinson, too. Is he going to be 100%? And Jesse James, I mean, he's nothing to fucking be ecstatic about.
Yeah.
But we need TJ Hawkinson back. That's for sure.
I can't wait. So DeAndre, I would love for TJ Hawkinson to be healthy. He's going to be a big addition if he can stay healthy. DeAndre Swift is going to be huge, though.
Mm-hmm.
His pass catching ability is really underrated. He's a great pass catcher.
Well, they were already impressed by his receiving abilities, and and he's ready to compete, man. I think it's going to be really dicey to see like how it's going to shake out with him and Kerryon for sure.
Yes.
I mean,
Kerryon's not even healthy right now. He's still wearing a knee brace, and from all the reports I've read, like he's not getting 100% workload. They're being really cautious with him. So Swift and Bo Scarborough are probably going to be the leading two. There's a chance they'll be the 2 that start week 1 if Kerryon's not fully right.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, dude, if you got at least 3 to 4 games until they get Kerryon right, Scarborough was below average last year. So, I mean, I think just DeAndre Swift is going to be your guy. And, like, when they do that short yardage, they'll throw Bo in there.
Yes.
Unless Stafford's a hunk and he just wants to rush.
Oh, he's a hunk. And, dude, we can't sleep on Danny Amendola. They had a pretty good connection last year, Stafford and Amendola. So,
dude, he almost had 100 targets.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good little bailout option. And Cephas, I can't wait to see what Cephas can do, dude. There's going to be some weapons in this offense. It's a good time, baby.
You don't. I mean, do you think there's a chance that they let Cephas kind of ride it out this year and kind of, I mean, because there's a lot of isn't Marv at the end of his contract in Amendola?
I mean, I don't think there's going to be a lot of packages where it's Galladay, Marvin Jones, Amendola, and Cephas. I think Amendola is going to be that slot guy most of the time. But Cephas will work in on some plays. I'm sure he will.
Shane, I saw something where like Detroit, they really love Marvin Jones and his leadership qualities. Like, I mean, it's going into his contract year.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is he? 29.
I believe he's 30. Yeah.
Is it? Like, I mean,
29 or 30.
it's hard to sign a 2 to 3 year deal with somebody that old. But I mean, if
It
even if they
is.
brought him for a year, like,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Quintez Cephas, like, I mean, to learn from Marvin Jones and Galladay right now would be pretty fucking stout. I mean, Quintez Cephas, yeah, he did like what 59 for 901 and 6 touchdowns last year in college. But if he can learn the basics and like and then some from them,
yeah,
it can make him to a prominent wide receiver. So
yeah,
I'm really excited to see this team play and see how it all shakes out in the beginning.
Me too. Dan, you got Galladay. How do you value him?
I love him.
Yeah, I love.
I think he's the only guy I kept on the startup. I think that's the only guy I still have.
Damn.
A team from the startup. I got him in like the 13th round.
He's
That's
trending
crazy.
upward every year, dude.
Yeah, he's great.
Every single year, dude. He's outproducing the year before.
Yeah.
By far.
You like the name Babytron?
No, it's not even real. It's for Twitter dorks. It's not even no Lions fan would ever consider that his name ever. It's so stupid. Hey, what do I got to add to Marquise Brown to get Galladay? Let's talk the real important stuff.
This is a real life trade
Those are like
negotiation.
Yeah, here's how it works, people.
Too.
Probably what?
A first rounder?
Nah, fam. We'll text.
All right, Shane, sell me why.
Sell me why.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a holiday.
Why is Hawkinson? Why is Hawkinson on the rise?
Look at him. Look at him healthy last year.
I don't
Look at Hawkinson highlights from last year.
All right, wait. He had that week 1 against Arizona, dude. He was 6 for 9.
He broke the tight end
and a touchdown.
And that was it.
Yes.
No, that was it.
No, that wasn't it.
Last year.
He balled out week 1. That was it.
No. No, he didn't play week 1, and that was it.
He didn't play with tight ends last year.
What's that?
Arizona? Are you talking about Hawkinson versus Arizona Cardinals last year?
Yeah, so I mean,
Week 1, he broke the record for a premiered for the first game for a tight end.
But then we saw Arizona give up like 2 touchdowns to Ross Dwelly on the 49ers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
the Cardinals are trash tight end.
That's like a 5-year plan for them.
Okay. You asked why is Hawkinson on the rise. My answer is look at him last year. He was unhealthy a lot of the times. He ended up taking big shots. Like, they had me concerned for bro because he would end up getting laid out, and it was some of the catches he'd made, he just didn't seem to have any concern for his body, and it ended up being some bad shots. But if you just look at his highlights, it's undeniable. He's undeniable. He's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's such a pass-catching talent. It's my argument for why he's on the rise is just watch him. That's it.
Yeah,
just watch him, and that's why he's on the rise.
Yeah, look at him. Week 1 he balled out. He had 130 yards, 31 yards and a touchdown. His second touchdown was against KC. He went for 3 for 3, 27 yards. Then he did. But then and then look at the second half of the season. That's when Stafford wasn't even
Yes.
the quarterback. Yes. And then look at in the last game he had 11 targets for 18 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I really consider that second half of the season just a lost season.
Yeah, I know, 100%.
Yeah, so I think the rest of the year they're just kind of get some games, under his belt. But here's the only way I can sell you is that he's amazing. He's very good.
What?
Well, I'm sold.
I mean, who are you taking him? Are you taking him before Hooper? Are you taking him for Hurst? Are you taking him before Jonnu? Are you taking him before?
I'm taking him before Jonnu. That's about where it would go.
Are you taking him before? Not Hurst, not
Hurst. Yeah, I'm taking him about tight end 9.
Would you take him ahead of Hooper?
That's close. I would probably take him over Hooper.
Dan, what do you think?
Wait, about Ingram? No, Evan Ingram is my
No,
tight end for this
no,
year.
Higbee on the Rams.
Oh, well, I guess I would take Higbee first, but I'm not taking Higbee ever
Okay.
because I just don't think he's that good. If it gets to the point of Higbee, I'm gonna skip tight end and get Hawkinson 3 rounds later.
And then you get Everett, who's going to take Higbee's place because Everett's the GOAT.
Hey, weird. He's on your team, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want either tight end in that Rams, but it would be Higbee first. But I'm never taking him.
Yeah, I'm not taking.
What about Hawkinson or Goddard?
Yeah, that's close. I'd probably take Goddard over Hawkinson, but
I take Hawk.
yeah, you would.
Yeah, Hawkinson over Goddard.
The reason I'd rather have Goddard is because I think the Eagles' receiving core is going to be thin, and I think he's going to. And I really think that Zach Ertz is on the way down, and Goddard's on the way up. Again,
That's interesting.
I mean,
I can agree to that.
I like Rager a lot.
you do.
dude, Rager's got the beast.
Well,
He's already-
even if you
Proved himself in camp right now, and he got picked in the first round. Like, they
Yeah.
definitely think something of him.
well, even if you love Rager, there's still plenty of room for Goddard to take more of Ertz's work, and B, still, I mean, Rager can be phenomenal and Goddard could still be phenomenal. And it doesn't take much for me for Ertz to not be the tight end 4. And that's where he's being drafted pretty consistently right now. And I'm taking Ingram over him every time.
You're forgetting the thing, though, that Miles Sanders is going to catch 100 balls this year.
And we had to get Miles Sanders talk in.
There we go. There we go.
Dude, I hope he's healthy so I can prove you guys wrong.
Yeah, I hope he is, too, so I can prove you right.
All right, Shane, is there any more Lions takes before we do our little wrap-up segment?
We're just all going to be so excited to watch the Lions this year.
I mean, yeah, we are. I'm going to have 150 beers at your house, so it's great.
Oh,
no.
my.
I don't think that's enough beers.
So
Is
officially,
he like the sleeper or like the must-have, whatever?
Yeah, we're getting there, Ben.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Morg's got a very
official
I didn't
invite.
come for the whole thing.
This is the
Sorry.
official invite. Shane, what is it? November 15th?
I believe it's November 15th.
November 15th at my new place. We're all watching the Washington football team versus the lowly Lions.
We're going to watch it up in the Lions Den. That's what Morgan has decided to call his room.
That's exactly what I decided to call the room.
The Lions Den.
We'll have multiple rooms to watch whatever game strikes our fancy.
Oh my! Well,
Or there better be nothing but Washington football team stuff in there. So it could be the Washington
I've got
football
like vintage
team.
pennants and stuff.
Dude, I'm going to shoot a deer in
From
your
the 80s.
backyard.
I've got a
Dude, did you see that? Like, no people coming into the Washington games can dress up like an Indian or paint their face.
No, that's a
Chiefs
Chief.
game. That's the Chiefs.
No, that's even the Skins too.
Really?
I'm sorry, the Washington football team.
All right, Gary. It's taken me a while to get used to too. I mean, it's been 35 years of being.
It's so weird, man. That's so ridiculous.
I know. I can
It's
change.
it's out of respect too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I get
It's
it.
crazy.
I totally get it.
All right.
You know.
Who's our must-have on the Lions? Shane's like
Oh.
everybody.
Yeah, it's 6-pack, dude. My must-have for the Lions is like Gary's one beer from last week. Give me the flight.
Like,
Beer number 4.
On the Lions,
Ew.
I must have on the Lions is at price point Matt Stafford.
Hmm.
I think he bounces back this year, and I think
Fuck yeah.
you don't have to overdraft him. So I love it.
Dude, if I can get Matt Stafford in a 12-team league fairly late, I'll take it, dude. 10th round. Straight up, dude.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, I told Shane the other day, I'm like, that's the guy I'm gunning for in Amjam.
Mm.
Dan, who you got?
DeAndre Swift.
Ooh.
I like
Same
it.
here. DeAndre Swift is my must-have.
I kind of think Galladay, man.
That's a good
It's
one,
just his
too.
price point for him. I think it's too high.
Where do you have to get Galladay? In the end of the second?
I mean, no, I think
Mid-third, you
Yeah.
can get him pretty well.
I'd rather just get Jones and later.
Julio?
No, Marvin Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we haven't
It's okay. Shane doesn't know what Jones means he just knows Marv.
Marv.
Not bad.
Who's the fade?
Carry on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amendola.
Yeah, Amendola.
Well, I mean, Amendola's kind of already a fade, I think, but no more
So-
than Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, he's so late. So I would actually say
Do you think
As
people
much-
are actually going to draft Amendola?
I think he's going to be undrafted. That's my guess.
Well, when you fade him, that's what happens.
That's
So technically, this little what did he call it earlier?
This is what happened.
What did he call our box?
Who?
The power tower. No,
The powerhouse block thinks
right.
when you fade, you don't get drafted. So it works out. We make the rules up as we go.
Down the totem pole.
It's so hard for me to choose a fade. I mean, it's nearly impossible. But
But the
if I was
team's so
choosing
good.
one to fade, I guess it would be Stafford
Damn, dude.
because I think he's kind of creeping up, and I think he's being taken around 12. And I would rather skip quarterback there and wait a little bit later, probably. But because I have to choose a fade, it's nearly impossible.
Are you ready for this?
Very.
This is the best fade ever.
Okay.
I'm fading Matt Patricia
Oh, good call. That's a good call. But
because he could
brought
ruin
in.
all of this, Shane.
Well, he brought in Darrell Bevel, so yeah, he could. Who knows?
It didn't hurt that Darrell Bevel didn't have a job.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's how you get those things.
Shane, you think Matt Patricia's on the hot seat with the fact that, this is probably the easiest route for them to win this division, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is the year, but I mean, last year was a wasted year because of injury. So if they're awful, if they don't make a splash, yeah, he's going to be in trouble. But I don't see that happening. So I don't know. I don't want to even put a timetable on it yet. But I don't know.
Who's the sleeper?
My sleeper's Carry On. My must-have is Swift, and my sleeper's Carry On because he's going to continue to fall. And what I think is he's gonna if he gets healthy, he and DeAndre will split. It won't be a 50-50 split if DeAndre is what I think he is, but it could still be 60-40. And Carry On's very good. He's really hard to tackle, especially behind the line of scrimmage. He turned a lot of really what should have been negative plays into even first downs. I still like Carry On. Swift is much better in my opinion, but I still like Carry On quite a bit. And Marv is also my sleeper because nobody
I
knows
think
how good he is.
Marvin Jones is an absolute sleeper, dude.
I'm only know Marv as a sleeper because I just think, I think the industry, the fantasy industry, definitely on as with Stafford to kind of be a top 10 quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like passing attempts all around. And I think everybody's in on Galladay to some extent, but Marv is just kind of not. He's kind of going unspoken.
Marv, the season before last when he was healthy was the wide receiver 12, and
crazy.
You won't find but the only reason it's crazy is because everybody forgot how good he is.
Yeah, it's kind of like how we talked about Cohen earlier.
That's right. That's a great point, and you're 100% right. I mean, that you just nailed it because nobody remembers who Cohen was when he was healthy or when the Bears had a good situation, and nobody remembers who Marvin was when he was healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not being taken. I don't even think he's being taken in the top 30 of receivers. Maybe the top 25.
Like you're like flirting with top 30, yeah.
And that's the thing. When he's healthy, it's a pretty good split between he and Galladay. Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if people take him as wide receiver 40, maybe 45.
I could see that.
That's how far back he probably is.
That would be a bad league. I don't think leagues with people who know what they're doing are going to let him slip that far. But
yeah,
that's what the league like.
What's that?
It's good. All right, so we're left to the
Wait, Dan and Morg didn't give a sleeper.
Wait, what did Dan say? I'm sorry.
So that's a league like this game.
Who you got, Dan? Sorry.
No, you're good.
But I was just saying, you're talking about who's picking him 40 something. I was gonna say Bobby Disharoon.
No, he's not. That name's not allowed on this podcast.
Disharoon.
I want to meet him.
No.
Yeah,
I kind of do too.
Who is that?
We're all gonna have a party up in Maryland soon.
yeah. Dan, can we have a party?
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait.
We'll all drive up together. We'll wear masks.
Wait. Speaking of parties, Dan, how was the bachelor party last weekend?
It was awesome. We went to the shed in Noah, like in Luray.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
I seen your river pics. Quality.
Yeah, we're
Wait,
tubing.
where were they at?
Oh, he
What?
sent you personally.
Oh, I didn't get no personal pics.
Well, you got to start doing river trips, and then he'll connect with you in that way.
Yeah, we should get out there again.
It's sweet. I would love to get you all of us guys out on the river for at least 2 or 3 nights out in the western part of the state. We'll take it easy. I won't make you do any DMT or anything too crazy.
Whoa! Invite me with the DMs involved. That's cool.
I mean, if you're real lucky, you'll do like I did this year: sprain your shoulder and flip your canoe in the first 30 minutes because you're hammered when you get out of the car. Oh damn! It was a good time.
I love it.
Morg, who's your sleeper?
Marv.
Mm.
Marv. You know I love Marvin Effin Jones. Go back
Dude.
like 4 years in the Yahoo thread or some shit, and you'll see where I said Marvin Effin Jones because he
I
put
love
up a 44-point game, and I started him.
Dude, how excited are we all for the Lions?
I'm
can't
stoked.
wait.
I'm stoked. The
Stoked.
Lions got me ready for football like nothing else.
Hey,
Oh my god.
can we do a quick NFC North draft?
Okay. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Are you guys cool with that?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
How do we start? Where do we go?
You go first.
Oh fuck.
All right, I'll take Dalvin Cook.
Oh, I like that.
Are we just doing running backs? Or we're doing all.
No, everything. Everything.
All right, Shane, go.
Aaron Jones.
Mark.
DeAndre Swift.
Wait, hold on. I write this down. Who wait, it was Dalvin.
There's
Dalvin.
Dalvin.
So Devontae would have gone before me,
Aaron
but I
Jones.
skipped him for Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Swift.
You taking Swift over Devontae? I love it.
Dan's up. Dan's a babe.
Devontae.
I mean, that's with me up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We'll do 3 rounds. 4 rounds, maybe.
I'll go Galladay.
So, Josh, you go again.
Thielen.
So it's Dan.
You said I don't have the things in front of me. I'll go A-Rob.
That's
Oh my gosh,
great.
That's a good pick. I will go. Give me Justin Jefferson.
Ooh, let's go, kid. So that's to me, right?
Yeah.
I'll go Marv.
I feel like I'm on the midway at the fair when it was at the Richmond Raceway back in like 1995.
Who got Devontae Adams?
I did.
Yeah.
Somebody got Adam Thielen too?
Yeah.
I went Galladay and Thielen back to back.
Okay. And Marv is gone. That's
Yeah, this is tough.
Especially
You know
with
what?
the national.
I'll do David Montgomery.
All right, we'll finish it here.
Ooh, I got one more good pick.
All right, who is it?
Tariq Cohen.
Oh, I love it.
All right, Cohen, Shane.
All right, Gary. Just snipe that ass, bruh.
All right, wait. All right, so wait.
It's Morg. We'll read off our teams. It's Morg, Dan, and then you, and then we read off.
All right, when you keep. All right, so
All right, so
Morg.
Wait, Gary, you're supposed to take 2 people, I thought.
he did. He took Marvin and David.
No, I jumped in front of him to get that Cohen.
You know what? I don't give a shit.
Nah,
Anthony
whatever.
We'll just do 3 people anyway. So that's cool.
Oh, fucking shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Wait, so did Gary get a pick?
Yeah, you're good.
No, you're bad.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I don't have 2. I only have 2. But I'll take Justin Jefferson.
Already
No,
No,
taken.
he's
Gordon
already
already
gone,
did.
bro.
All right,
I
you know
tried
what?
that in the real draft.
Fuck you guys. I'm taking Matt Stafford
Okay,
Ooh.
I like that.
I don't see why you got to be so aggressive about it.
because he's that good.
Okay.
All right, so go. Dan goes.
I'm trying to think who's available.
Wait. Why does Dan go? I got skipped. Oh, I got Cohen. Never mind.
Yeah, you cheat motherfucker.
Ah, shit.
Why did I go right there? I shouldn't have gone there.
Who did Morgan
yeah.
take?
I took Anthony Miller.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
It should be Dan and Josh.
I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Carry-On.
I don't know
You
why.
got Hawkinson. You got Irv Smith.
Go Alan Lazard.
Ooh, nice. Wait, what are you thinking you're going to get from Alan Lazard this year, Dan?
I mean, honestly, if I'm going with it, I think ESB is the guy, the number 2
Really?
there.
Really?
Yeah.
Man,
I'm a big Equinemius St. Brown guy.
we didn't even talk about him.
This is tough.
Very.
He didn't even play last year, but they didn't even draft a wide receiver this year. So I think
Yep.
he's got a part to play there.
Damn, I wish we would have got your take when we were doing Packers.
All right, I'm taking Carry On just to end it.
Okay.
All right, so Dan, you haven't been here in a hot minute. I think there's some hot takes that I feel like you've been kind of holding to get out. Maybe about one quarterback in Buffalo.
Oh.
Or one running back in Philadelphia.
All right, Josh Allen. I think he is a QB1 in fantasy. I don't think he's a good quarterback in real life.
Agreed.
But I do think he runs, and I think it hurts Devin Singletary and Moss's value because he does the goal line carries too. So he just takes away from the running backs
This
there.
isn't even a take. You're protecting yourself. Come with it, dude. So you were hating on him in the text thread.
I am. He's a fucking awful thrower. What do you want me to say? He can't.
Dude,
He can throw
he's
it over the
god
mountain,
awful.
but
He's god awful.
he's so inaccurate at throwing the ball. He can run the ball though, which makes him relevant in fantasy.
Dude, I had family members call me and tell me about how you're shitting on Josh Allen.
As they should. But I mean, I don't think I'm with Dan. Josh Allen is not great.
Dude. I mean,
He's a good runner.
I mean, I'm here, but whatever.
Dude, Josh Allen's awesome.
He's fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. He's no Lamar Jackson though.
I mean, he's okay. That's true. He's not Lamar Jackson, but
No.
He's not accurate like Jackson.
Shane, Josh Allen or Carson Wentz?
what are the stipulations? Am I putting one on my fantasy team, or am I starting my NFL team with one?
Let's just do fantasy.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
He's more of a beefcake than Carson Wentz. I don't have to be as scared of him getting injured. However, if I was building an NFL team around one, it'd probably be Wentz. Nope, it'd be Allen. Never mind.
What?
It'd be Josh
Are you
Allen.
serious?
Bro. Yeah, absolutely.
That's ridiculous.
You're giving me the next Cam Newton? I'll take him.
The next Cameron
Nothing. Newton.
Josh Allen is like a mobile Joe Flacco.
Oh wow,
Oh, man,
that is
dude. You know what? You're like a scorned lover who can't get past it.
that makes me want to throw up.
Because it's false.
Oh, he had Joe Flacco for his team, so I mean, he probably understands.
I mean, he
Joe
understands,
Flacco
but
was
he's
watched for like so many years.
yes, he was, but not everybody's Joe Flacco. Dan sees Joe Flacco every door he opens. It's like Blair Witch Project. He's walking around his house on Sundays watching a Bills game, and he's like, "Oh my god, I see him."
Dude, could you imagine the Bills? Dude, what if Jake Fromm was better?
Ooh. I mean, he's not going to be, but we got that Jake Fromm in
I
one
mean,
load.
do you want me to call the Bills Insider next week?
Go. Call him now.
Next week.
All right.
Why would we call him next week?
I think I need to say this about. I think you're way higher on Diggs. Like, I don't think Diggs is a wide receiver one at all.
You're not a true Maryland fan.
Dude, Shane.
I love Stephon Diggs, and he is not going to be a wide receiver one this year at all.
Shane wants to trade him. That's it.
Okay, who are you going to take? Allen Robinson or Stephon Diggs?
A-Rob, especially if Foles is playing quarterback.
Dude, is that even a question? A-Rob all day. I'm sorry, Shane. But A-Rob.
No. You don't have to agree. I'm taking Diggs.
I think Diggs is the better wide receiver, but like if Allen is throwing the ball, like he's just going to overthrow him a bunch.
I can agree. Diggs' talent is great, but like I don't like it with Josh Allen.
Dude, he's gonna be fine. John Brown had a great season last year with Josh Allen. Cole Beasley had a great season with Josh Allen.
But
And
then
Diggs
he's got to
can do
share
both
all that. Who was the third wide receiver for that team?
for Buffalo.
See, now you gotta phase out all
Beasley.
that out.
Well,
No,
here's the
he's
thing.
third.
Diggs can do everything that John Brown can do and everything that Cole Beasley can do. So, and they traded a lot of draft capital to get him.
Understandable, but like I don't think the pass attempts are going to be there for him like you would have thought.
They throw a lot. They throw a lot. I think they're gonna be fine.
They throw a lot of overthrows too.
I know that's the argument that people keep making, but here's the thing.
I like
Diggs
Diggs.
is-
I like
Diggs
Diggs.
is a-
He's on the wrong team.
I disagree.
I absolutely agree. I'd rather see Diggs on the Raiders, probably. to tell you the truth.
That's bold.
Yeah,
I
I'm
probably
excited.
would.
I'm excited. I'm holding to him as a wide receiver one.
That's bold.
It is not that bold.
Dude, Dawson Knox.
Oh, I love Dawson Knox. He's my sleeper tight end for sure.
I can't wait for you to take him in the 8th next
Dude,
week.
I might take him in the 7th, bro.
Dude, going back on Buffalo, I don't know if I can touch anybody on that team at the right
Why?
price. I can't.
All right, guys, we're retracting it. I think we gotta call it.
Miles Sanders RB1. Let's go.
All right, for Morg on Twitter at the Morg Mart.
Yep.
For Gary at the Twitter on Garspoetica, on Shane on Twitter at a Fantasy Hack. For Dan on Twitter and Instagram at dwebster341, right?
I don't know about Instagram. I don't really use that, but yeah, on Twitter.
And then hit me up at jhix804. The Flug is on Twitter and Instagram at the Flug_FF. Again, we're on Instagram, Spotify, Podbean, iTunes,
All your socials.
all that good shit. Follow these jewels. Guys, 3 weeks, T minus 3 weeks till football starts.
Oh my gosh.
Woo!
How is that possible?
Two
Dude,
more,
dude,
two
isn't
more
it so
divisions.
exciting?